I remember when I made the decision to make God my one and only. I made God my one and only. I remember that. I was 16 and a half years old. And we was going through some turbulent time of our life. And that changed me dramatically. Parents were going through struggle with their relationship. All my sisters and brothers was having difficult problems. All of them doing pretty well for themselves right now. We was a middle class family, and things wasn't what it seemed to be. That was back in the 70s, guys, and early 70s. It just wasn't good. Each of us went into a foster home. We didn't have no strong relationships with our aunties, uncles, because they couldn't really take care of themselves. And I mean, I would love to understand why families aren't so close or supported for their village. When one fall down, it's said that all of us should lift the others up. But I believe in that time, in the Jim Crow era, and still was continuous, it was just so ridiculous for us to lift each other up or give ourselves a pat on the back or love or hugs. I remember my parents didn't even say, I loved you. They didn't. My mom did, I'm sorry. But my dad, it was just tough. He's seen a lot. But it kept on perpetuating throughout not only his relationship with us, it just kept on happening through his entire life. In fact, it happened so greatly that none of his children came to the funeral. I had to be the one to take care of the whole situation. His oldest son had to take care of everything. Everything. Listen, I don't want none of y'all to go through all that. So I want you to understand, money is necessary in our economy, the next generation, the loved ones, and so forth. And I'm going to read you something out of my book called Business Hustle Owner. And this is going to probably help you out. God creates cash flow. And I'm going to try to rush this because I would just had to give you some reflection on why this is so important. I'll read you one of the chapters. Something that's going to help you out. I'm sorry. I don't know if I'm going to read God, Hands at Work. I think I'm going to do God, Hands at Work. Because I want to read Michael Meets God. Michael Meets God. Michael Meets God. I'm trying to go over this. 44. Because I think it's necessary that we know how God operates. We don't know everything about God, but God gives you information that's in the Bible that give you detail, but we don't know. Just to tell you the truth, we don't know. Michael L. meets God. Michael had always prided himself on taking care of his family. A hardworking man, he had spent most of his life in the warehouse. lifting heavy boxes, working long hours, in the cold winters and scorching summer. At 54, his body bore the weight of decades of labor, but it was all for his family. He had 4 children, and thanks to his dedication and sacrifices, they were all college graduates, each living their own lives with promising future. Though Michael felt the wear and tear of his job, he believed he was doing what was necessary to provide. Back then, men had a different kind of reason why they did it. They did it for their family. Men really work for their family. Now, this generation has not bore that because they haven't learned it from a man that's in the house. Most people that's living families are living with them single mom, no dad intact. But the ones who do, thank you, dads. Thank you for supporting your kids. Well, they need you in a positive and sometimes negative way. They need you. They may not say that. They might hate you. They might dislike you. But guess what? In the end, if you're a good, positive father and believe in God, and you want to make some momentums and changes in this generation, thank you. But sometimes, let me continue. But sometimes something was missing. Michael didn't know God. He heard about God, of course. His wife would pray over dinner on Sundays, but Michael often stayed at work or found other things to do for him. Life was about doing what needed to be done, not looking for answers in a place he wasn't sure even exists. He loved his family, worked hard, and hoped that would be enough. Then came that hot Monday morning. It seemed like any other day in the warehouse. The heat was oppressed, and Michael was drenched in sweat. As he went about his routine, he had learned everything about the job, how to lift properly, how to avoid injuries. On this day, he performed the usual squat and bend to pick up a heavy product. But as he rose, something went wrong. A sharp pain shot through his lower back, and before he could react, he crumbled to the floor, and his hand clutching his back as the pain intensified. Help, he managed to call out to his coworker, who quickly rushed over. The pain was unbearable, and Michael knew that this was something that would go away with a day of rest. But guess what? It was bad. Months passed and Michael was still in treatment for his injury. His company long-term disability benefit was running out, and the fear of losing everything began to creep in. How would he take up care of his family now? For the first time, and Michael felt truly powerless. The security he had relied on, his job, his physical strength, was slipping away, and he had no plan. There's more to this on page 45. If you want to buy this book, God Creates Cash Flow, about Michael and other stories such as this, and how God transferred Michael, and helped Michael in his own life to know him and get a better understanding of who God is and what God can do for you. Buy your book called The Business Hustle Owner on BHO Innovation. And please subscribe to this channel. We need you. Need you to subscribe. Understand that God has a plan for all his people. Please subscribe.